them go and have a look via tabs, or we can let them have a look via Visualforce page. No, I need not to duplicate the course. So the question here is, if I need to run a course via online, same course via online, classroom, etc. Let me give you an example. We are running a course, right? Okay, Shibu. So we are running a course here, which is actually a CRT 450, and there are 200 plus participants. Someone else around the world, somewhere, delivering the same course today. So I'm not duplicating my course here. So every delivery is separate because every delivery is generating revenue for us. Every attendee is paying different price for the course. Course in India, different price, different currency. Course in Singapore, different price, different currency, different instructor, different location, different time. So creating multiple delivery is not about creating multiple courses. Same course can have multiple deliveries happening around the world. Some of them are scheduled, some of them are in progress, some of them are cancelled. So another interesting question from a developer. Can be implemented, okay, so the question here is, can a delivery object, we can use delivery object as a wrapper object within custom object course. So delivery is a wrapper, and all it will be wrapping up, course and something else. So you need to just clarify more on that option for me, Ravi Krishna. So without delivery object, attendee is also a junction object and indirectly junction to. Without delivery object, attendee is junction object. Attendee is actually a junction object here between contact and delivery. Oh, there can be multiple ways to avoid any duplicacy on delivery object. You can ensure that the course is not duplicated in terms of the location and instructor. If the location plus instructor same, then it is same delivery we are pointing to. So we can write such rule here, Digna. Oh, okay. Thank you, Ravi Krishna. I'll talk about wrapper object in a time when we go to the class. Just give me some time, then we'll start with the Apex. All right. So delivery object is not just about the delivery method once again, not just about the delivery method. It is going to capture many information. If it is only about the delivery method, then I can go with the pick list. But here my business doesn't want that to only capture. My business wants to capture if there is, okay, let's see this. There is a class 10th exam, or there's a class 10th course, math course is going. So this mathematics course is not happening in one place for all the attendee around India. It's happening in a different school, different time, delivered by different instructor, right? Different state, possibly in different languages too. So I have to have a different deliveries. I cannot have just one course, gather all those different instances. So you can think of one course and many instances of the course happening. That's how the course and delivery is separate. So one course happening in location Sydney, one course happening in the location Singapore, one course happening in the location Mumbai, and in location Delhi. So you can think of it as a, instances, different instances of the course. All right, are we all good here? So let me take a tour. Okay, I'm going to show you the certification application. Some of the part would be working, some of the part would not be working, but at least you'll get to see the same diagram which I show you in practically there. All right, let me know if you see my data model. I'm changing my screen. So do you see the certification application right now? Do you see my org? Very good. So let's go and take a tour, okay? So let me start with the account, guys. So I'm going to click on the account and let me create a new account so that you can see the service vendor account. So I create a new, and here I choose a type. What type of account I want to create? So I say service vendor, and I click on next. It asks me information about. So I'll give an account name. Let's say test account. Status active, support level. You can give any information here. So I'll just give a name and I'll save this. So my service vendor account is created. Now from this account, I'm going to create some of the technician contact. So I click on the contacts list and I'll create new. It asks me, do I want to create technician account? Yes. They are not standard contact, they are technician contact. So one account can have two different type of contact too.
Yes.
So the first name, let's say, let's say Triveni. Account name is already populated from here. And any more information I would like to capture. All looks fine. I can click on save. So I've got one technician. Now let's enroll this technician for the course. So I'll go for course and I'm going to see all my courses. So these all are the courses available right now. So I want this Triveni to participate in the course AWCS security. So what I'll do, I just click on the AWCS security course and I will see in which particular delivery I can enroll. So I see there are 3 deliveries. I go to the delivery list. I see there is one happening in Namur, which is Toronto, one happening in Singapore, one happening in San Francisco. Out of all these 3, I see 2 are already delivered. So I cannot enroll Triveni in these 2 delivered deliveries. I can only go for the San Francisco. So the location is San Francisco for this particular delivery. The start date is 11th of April, and it's still scheduled. And who's the instructor? Raymond. So I'm capturing these many information about the delivery. So it cannot be, that's why a pick list. Okay, it's not about the delivery method. You can also keep that as a another field over here. So let me go and click on the delivery to enroll this Triveni as attendee. So this is a detail of your particular delivery. So it goes delivery number, course, region, location. Right now there are 4 attendee. So attendee count is 4. Status is scheduled. Instructor is this. Raymond. So let's go to the course attendee list, and I see all these course attendees. They all are actually contacts, okay? And their status is enrolled. I will create new, and I'm going to search which contact, Triveni, from test account. Status, she is also enrolled. Do you want to give any instructor notes? So once this person has done the course or attending a course, if instructor would like to add some message, oh, she is very bright, she is very attentive, all that. So we can do that. So I click on save. And my course attendee is created. So if I go back to delivery now, I see there are 5 attendee currently for a particular course. If I choose another delivery, because I cannot join a course in San Francisco. I can only go up to Singapore. I don't have visa, or I'm only looking for a local training. So I have to look for a different course delivery. That's how delivery cannot be a pick list as per the business. Currently, what we want to capture. Okay, so once this guy has attended a course, let's say he will take a certification. So I'll go to a certification tab now, and I'm going to see for all certification, AWCA security. That's what course this guy has attended. So I'll go to AWCA security, and I'll see there's exactly one element to pass. So if I click on that certification element, it's a multiple choice. There will be 60 multiple choice question. All right, so let's take it. So I click on this element, and I'm going to take my attempt. So one element is having so many attempts, not by the same person, by the different person. So one element can say how many attempts has been happening. So if I need to find out the pass percentage of a particular element to decide whether this exam is too easy, too difficult, should we enroll more questions here, to find more information about it. So we'll go to attempt, and I'm going to take a new attempt. It's a multiple choice or lab because it's a multiple choice element. So I choose multiple choice and I click on next. I'll choose a candidate. And when I'm taking the attempt, say today, status, let's say I passed the exam, and I click on save. So I have one more attempt in pass status. So there was exactly one element which as a Triveni, I passed. So I should be having a certification held record created. Okay, so that's how it's going to work. All good? Should we go to the next section then? That's a simple tour of a certification application. Some of the stuff is already built. Some of the automation we need to, go and build as a developer. So yeah, that's a tour over here. Do let me know if you have any question now. So we'll go and to the next topic, which is Introduction to PD1 certification. If I want to see more information about this object, I will take you to the object manager. So there is an object manager. I choose, let's say if I go to certification attempt and field and relationship. So it says there is a certification candidate. So I can So one attempt shows me one particular candidate. So if I want to find out whether a particular candidate done that attempt or not, passed the attempt or is in the progress. So we can query a particular candidate considering the attempt date. So we can write some SOCL over there. I can. Do you want to see in this? Okay, so let me show you the schema diagram again, but in the schema builder. Have you seen schema builder before? All right, so let me show you the schema builder again for these many objects. So I'm going to open my schema builder now. Let me clear all. Let me go to custom objects. So I want to see certification, certification attempt, certification element. So first I'll show you this part. And let me minimize a view so that I can I'm just trying to arrange a view. Okay, just bear with me for time being. So let me just arrange every object in one single view. So that you can have a better view. Start now, all three together. So this is my certification. Every certification have multiple elements. One element can have multiple attempts. So that's my schema. Okay, so that's for certification track. I can show you a course track too if you have any question. If you don't have any question from here. So why do we use schema builder? So schema builder gives us information related to our schema, which all objects are present in our schema as a standard object or as a custom object, how the objects are related to each other, which all fields are available in a particular object. So it gives us a view as well as we can edit. So if I want to edit particular field from an object, I can edit from here too. So I can select, I can say edit object properties or view object. So we can do that. If I want to add a new field to particular object from a schema builder, we can do that. So it gives us an overall view of how our objects are related and planned. And if you want to customize it a bit, I want to add a field, I want to add a formula, I want to add a new relationship. So I can also use schema builder for that. Why a relationship between element and certification attempt is optional? That's a good question. Let's see that. So if I delete an element, let's say we have a certification PD1 and we ask people to write multiple choice question. We also expect people to develop a certification. Develop an application. Okay, so there are two elements for a particular certification. Going further, after down the line, 4 years or 5 years, we think no, we don't require people to develop any application in this stage. So we only have one element. So I'm going to remove or delete another element. So if I'm going to create a relationship between element and attempt as MD, so the moment you delete an element, all the people, all the attempt taken by different people will be deleted. That I don't want. I want my system to understand who all has taken an attempt in the past as well. That's why I cannot have MD relationship, because deleting element will delete all the related child records. That is why we have established lookup. So even if I drop a particular element in our coming future, the people who are taking attempt currently will they will be available in the system. So if I need to go back and see who all has taken attempt, whether this person has passed that particular element or not, we can do that with the help of certification attempt if it is present. So we don't go for empty. So I'm coming back to the point, the question which without okay, so I'll go back to my the first question about in which situation you have to create MD and lookup. So you need to create master detail relationship if the scenario want a cascade delete. It's all about composition. So the dependency of a record, a dependency of one object, or existence of one object depending on the another object, then I require empty relationship. For example, if I delete the account, do I also want to delete all the contacts? So let's say we have banned an account, we have banned a service vendor, but we haven't banned the technicians, right? Because technicians were the good. I would like to use their services, but we don't want to do the business with this particular service vendor because they have used some inappropriate process and all that stuff. So considering that, I cannot establish relationship between service vendor and technician as master detail, because master detail says if I delete a parent, all the related child record will be deleted. So I will go for a lookup relationship among them. But if I go to national database and I delete a passport number, a particular passport detail, I delete that passport detail. So if I delete the particular passport detail, do I want to delete every information associated with that passport holder? Of course not. If I'm invalidating a passport, it doesn't mean I'm invalidating that person. I'm not vanishing that person. So that's not a right place to use MD. Okay, that's first scenario. Second is if I want my master and detail both should have different owner, different security and sharing, then I will go for the lookup. But if I want my master to dictate the ownership and sharing, then I will go with the MD relationship. Because in MD relationship, parent dictate the ownership and sharing of all the child records. So there are some business scenario, business requirement on the basis of which you will decide whether I should go for master detail or I should go for lookup relationship. Okay, so that's your MD and lookup relationship difference. So I'll go back and I'll show you the course attendee, and course delivery. So this is my course delivery. Every delivery has multiple attendee, and this is my course. Okay. So one course can have multiple deliveries. One deliveries can have multiple attendees. If I look into the relationship, a course and course delivery is empty relationship. So if I delete a course, I don't require any delivery information. So I have an empty relationship. Between course delivery and attendee, there is also an empty relationship. So if I delete a delivery, I don't require any information to be stored about the attendee. But deleting attendee, I'll go back and I'll choose one more object here. So this is my empty relationship. If I delete course, I don't want any delivery to be present. So if I delete PD1, I don't want to capture any information about the delivery, or if I delete a delivery, I don't want to capture any information about the attendee. But deleting attendee doesn't mean I'm deleting the contact. Why? Let me just show you that. So I'll go to my standard object. I'll just use contact here, and I'll show you how contact is related. So one contact, many attendee. If I put my cursor here, so if I delete a contact, then only the attendee records will be deleted. But if I delete an attendee, that doesn't mean that contact record will be deleted. That contact will be present very much. So contact is parent and attendee is child. So deleting attendee will have no impact on contact, but deleting contact will have impact on the attendee object. So if my course is deleted, all the deliveries are deleted. The deliveries are deleted, the attendees will be deleted, but those attendee as a contact will be present in the contact table. So we use empty relationship if we want to delete our child records whenever we delete parent. And if we want to go otherwise, we'll create a lookup relationship. If we want our parent to dictate the ownership and sharing for all the child records, then we'll create MD relationship between them. It means the owner of course will be the owner of course delivery because they share MD relationship. So if as a user I see course, and if I see a course, I would enable the visibility of a course delivery as well for me. That's a sharing dictated by the parent on a child records. So if I can see parent, I should be allowed to see all the child record. If that is the business scenario I want to achieve, then it's a MD relationship. And if it is otherwise, then it's going to be a lookup relationship. Okay. So I'll come back to exam and objective later as we are already in some business. I'm going to take you to some business there, okay? Because we are discussing a relationship here, so I'm taking you to a relationship slide directly, okay? So that your all the questions will be sorted at this point of time related to empty relationship. Okay, I'll come back to all this point, don't worry. So I'm just taking you to the relationship, okay? So this is my empty relationship. This is your schema builder. So schema builder shows you what all information. So what all information does schema builder display about an object? It display about the relationship, which all fields are required. So if I go back to my schema builder here, it tells me all this red bar, where all this red sign you see in the object, they all are required. It also talk about data type of the fields. If I put my cursor here and I just maximize a bit, I'll see that there's a name field, it's an auto number, there's a status field, it's a pick list, so it informs you about the data type, or which all fields are required, the different type of relationship with the object. So that's all you get to see with the schema builder. Is the ID field displayed for contact or for account? So I quickly also log into my org so that I can show you data model as well. I guess. So is the ID field displayed for contact, for account, or for any object? So actually not. So your ID field is not displayed in the schema builder. We need to either go to the record and look at the address bar, or create a formula field to display it on the record, or write a circle to fetch the ID. So there are various ways to fetch the IDs, but it's not displayed on schema builder. So what type of relationship between account and contact? So actually the relationship between account and contact is lookup, but as it is a standard relationship, it's already being set as a required lookup relationship. So which field is the foreign key between account and lookup? So there is an account and lookup on your screen if you see here. So I have a relationship between account and contact. The type of relationship is lookup. Can you tell me which field is actually a foreign key over here? Account, correctly. Yeah, account ID. That's totally right. So basically, account is the name of the relationship, and yeah. So which field is the foreign key in the contact? That's your account. I'm sorry about the image label. Okay, it's a wrong label actually. It is actually a contact object. So sorry about the label. So let's go to the next. So empty relationship, when we should establish empty relationship, I'm going back to the foundation again. So in empty relationship, sharing of the detailed record is inherited from the master record. So parent, if as a user, parent can see account, then that user will automatically get access to the child records. If I delete a parent record, the child record associated with that parent will be automatically deleted. The parent reference is always required because MD is composition type of relationship, and it's a tight coupling. So the parent lookup is always required on a child if the relationship type is master detail. We can also add a lookup filter to such a lookup relationship. For example, if I want to establish a relationship between account and call, let's say, okay, let me take an example of a custom because then we'll get confused with the standard relationship. So if I want to establish a relationship between course and course delivery, and I only want those course delivery to be selected if they are in the scheduled status. So that's a lookup filter. So we can add up anytime a lookup filter in MD or in a lookup relationship. And reparenting. Do you understand what is reparenting? So reparenting, for example, I'll give you example of reparenting here. Let's say we have two table, employee table and project table. So employee table talks about all the employees, and then we have a project table. With project as a master, we have another table which says project member. So everybody and anybody who's working on that project will become a project member. Okay. Those project member is nobody but the same employees. So if I have a project, let's say McDonald project, and there are 20 members for that particular project, and once the project is over and we deliver the particular project, now these members need to reassign to another project. And if project and project members have MD relationship, then in that situation, we need to reparent those project member to another project. By default, reparent allowed. To enable a reparenting, we have to configure it while creating that type of relationship. So changing a parent from a child after establishing that relationship is not possible. So once I have a project, I have many project member, because as per the project, we assign different permissions to those project member. We assign different time slot. We define different sandboxes where they are going to work. So for every particular member of a project, we define a separate set of permissions, separate set of facilities, access. So once that project is done and I'm going to assign the same member to a different project, he and she will gain different permissions, different set of features. So considering that, I would require a relationship between project and project member as master detail. So when I go to a member and I choose a particular project, that parent is decided once I save it. After saving that, I cannot change my parent if I have not allowed reparenting on that relationship. So I have to do that. So let me just quickly show you how it can be done, okay? So I'll go to setup, and then I'll go to object manager. I'm going to choose an object, let's say certification element, and I create new field. I choose MD relationship, for example. I click on next, and then I'll choose any object to relate over here. So this is a certification element. Let me choose course attendee here. Okay, let me choose course. Course attendee will be contact. So I choose a contact. I call it next. You can give any label over here. Let me just say contact test. So I'm just going to show you how reparenting can be enabled. So if you come over here, you see there is allow reparenting. So in this case, your child records can be reparented to other parent records after they are created. So once this relationship is established, I relate one record with another parent record. After that, even I can change my parent. So that you have to allow. So if you don't allow it, it will not happen. So after creation, you can change your parent. Okay, that's how you can achieve it. Next is a lookup relationship. So the child record and parent record have independent ownership, independent sharing. Then we'll go and establish lookup relationship over here. The lookup field on the child can be required, can be optional. So if I make it required, then it will be required relationship of type lookup only. We also have 3 delete behavior available here. So if I delete a parent, then what will happen to the related child record? That's what we are going to decide with the lookup. So in an MD relationship, there is no options. So if you delete a parent, all childs will be deleted automatically. That's a cascade delete. Whereas with a lookup relationship, you have options available. So if I delete a parent, the related child records will have a blank value in place of parent, will not allow you to delete a parent record because it's referring the parent. And third option is it can also allow you to delete the child record. Now this third option is not available by default in every org. You need to enable this option with the help of Salesforce Customer Executive. So you to enable this feature. This is not enabled in every org by default. Okay, and you have to definitely give a valid reason to enable this feature. And as just like MD, you can also add a lookup filter over here. Lookup versus MD relationship. Now there are some questions here. Let me just take the answers from you. So parent field on child is required. Is it true for lookup? Parent field on child is required. Yes, it's not required. It's actually required or optional. In MD relationship, is it required? Yes, very good. Access to parent determine access to child. Is that true for lookup relationship? Access to parent determine access to child. Is that true for MD relationship then? So access to parent determine access to child. That's not true for lookup relationship. Is it true for MD relationship? Yes. So access to parent determine access to child record. It's true for MD relationship. Deleting the parent always automatically deletes children. Is that true for lookup? Correct. It's not true for lookup. Is it true for MD relationship? Yes, it's true for MD relationship. Very good, guys and girls. Lookup field on page layout depends on required or optional choice. Is that true for lookup? Yes. Is that true for MD? No, yeah. So for MD relationship, there's no option. It is required all the time. So I think we are good with the MD and lookup relationship, and I hope I'll take you back to this diagram. And we are good to this too. Okay, so now we'll talk about Platform Developer 1 certification. Who should take this exam? Basically, it's an exam for a programmer. And it's going to be, there will be questions not on just relationship,